What's good, everyone? So we are at our Go Home show prior to our first pay-per-view. I think it's Malice at the Wonderland, or I'm not the best with TCW pay-per-views. It is a Go Home show, six-man tag main event. I'm hoping for a good rating. Six-man tags aren't the best in this game, but we'll see what's happening. Now, what I wanted to do is incorporate a lot of younger talent, which I think we did pretty good today. A lot of people are getting an opportunity. I wanted to point out at the very start is Running Wolf has dethroned Rich Money as USPW champion, now joining the Blacklist exemption. Running Wolf is somebody I never really was able to book. I never really wanted to get in a bidding war. I never did a SWF or USPW save, so he's always seemed like Nikki Champion's number two. So it's a big step for him to finally become world champion. I would eventually, if I was doing that, turn him heel versus Nikki champion in USPW. I also have a really cool short hair Nikki champion picture, and maybe down the line we get to see it. We just have Center Society defeat developmental faces. Killer Shark and Titan, great tag team. I think Aaron Andrews actually promised to put over Killer Shark. I don't see it happening, but we'll see. We start off the show with 100. There it is. With Aaron Andrews and Wolf Hawkins talking about that they're going to be at their very best this Sunday at the pay-per-view. They're going to once and for all prove who's the better man, who is the face, who is the backbone of TCW. Is it the protege of not the guy who started it, because it didn't start that way. I haven't been on the background. I want, like, honestly, with the background video, I want to download 05, 10, 13, 16 again and look at TCW and then see where they go to look at it. That's a lot of work. Um, we'll get there. I think maybe that's something I can work to when I don't feel like recording. I can do my homework with that. Um, and there's also a very good, what's it called? It's like a Wikipedia that fans make. God, I forget what it's called. Fandom. There's like a fandom thing on the Cverse and TCW. Um, so we'll get there. It's something that I promise I want to put my effort in. I think if you guys you know will appreciate one thing, I will give you my best effort. I've learned how to record. I really enjoy this. I don't want to half-ass it. Nonetheless, back to the matches, show, whatever. Wow, I'm old. Aaron Andrews, you know, backbone, Wolf Hawkins backbone. Only one can be the guy. It's really what the story is. We have Human Arsenal picking up another win. This time we have our not protege, developmental Duke Freeman. None of the developmental guys besides Seth Whitehead have been called up. Just getting them exposure and building their popularity organically. We have Mighty Meaty defeating Harvey Robinfield and Mark Speed. This, again, to test out Harvey Robinfield and Mark Speed's tag chemistry as something down the line. And honestly, Mighty Meaty, we know they're probably disbanding after Sunday. And as Eddie Peak reminds us, this is the last time Mighty Meaty will win a tag team matchup. And like just gives a good pause because we're really putting out that stake of Mighty Meaty, former champions, beloved tag team. They don't win, separated. We have Freddie Huggins and Matt Hawking tried to set up an ambush on Dr. Love, but he just simply, blows it off. I mean, maybe like Dr. Love is this kind of. I have a hard time with the character in this company's environment. I signed him before in like others and was able to play up that character. He has very bad momentum at the start, cold momentum at the start. Good 62 popularity, decent enough in ring. He's at an end, so he's going to be good on the card. But again, this is just to get these three guys in a program to show the Freddie and Matt background, because eventually there's going to be turmoil there, could be tag champion potential there, all that. We have Ed Stone and Dazzling Dave Diamond say, you know what, you beat us last week, but you didn't beat Dazzling Dave Diamond, Ed Stone. You beat Ed Stone, Elliot Thomas. No disrespect to Elliot Thomas, but he's now Triple D. This sets up the tag match at the pay-per-view. We go in Ed Stone picking up a win over Cyclone just to get Ed Stone a good victory. Seth Whitehead again defeats Elliot Thomas. Elliot Thomas cannot win a match. Um, I don't know if Elliot Thomas, maybe down the line, there's potential. I mean, Aaron Andrews pointed him out. He's a hot prospect. There's a challenge where a hot prospect has to go into a franchise player. Maybe he's one that I just say, you know what, I'm picking him the year. He will have a job with us as long as we can have him. Solid. I never really want to make his popularity below 40 after his match. I suspect it is, but well, I think he can bounce back with all that. We'll get there. We have a Great Gage promo saying Benny Benson takes this opportunity to joke. This TV championship means everything to Great Gage. It is his opportunity to prove that he is the best in the world, and etc. etc. And Benny Benson doesn't take it serious, and that's set up the promo there. We have just a first row promo. He's like battle rapping fans, just kind of relating himself to the people as a babyface. I would just imagine like a battle rap, maybe like they dab up at the end, just kind of showing him as part of his community and things like that. Still developing the character and what I want to do with it. We have Flying Jimmy Fox to defeat Yuri with a Flying Fox. I guess would be a crossbody, a lot of crossbody and all that. Um, Again, just getting both on the card, get a win for Flying FJF. We have Jeremy Courtney and Troy Tornado versus Sammy Bach and Public Enemy numero uno. If you remember last week, Sammy Bach kind of interrupted the beatdown of Troy and Jeremy had on Public Enemy, so just to kind of give that a payoff with Public Enemy number one defeating Jeremy with the Tombstone Pile Driver. We have Jay Cord backstage after the match, goes up to Sammy Bach and says, I want you to remember this feeling. This feeling that you're not going to have after Sunday. After Sunday, you may never have this feeling again. What that feeling is, this feeling is hope. Because after you lose to me and I become world champion, you will never be world champion. You will simply be walking into your retirement. We then go into our main event with Aaron Andrews, One Man Army, T-Bone Bright versus Syndicate. These three aren't teammates. They're just simply allies against a common enemy. Um, Maybe that bond goes stronger. Maybe it turns into feuds. I no plans for that now, but um, it really just gets them on the card. Aaron Andrews with a fantastic performance, 85. We get an 80 rating here, which I think at the very beginning of this episode I said that's really what I wanted to be, and that's what I wanted to be. Um, T-Bone Bright sticking out with a 66 performance. I mess with that. I love that. And that's our Go Home show. Pretty solid Go Home show with Wolf um, and Triple A, or Triple A, Double A, given their best promo, best angle we've had. Feud's money. I'm excited to see what they do in the ring. Um, I'm curious. For some reason, I can't get the great ratings. Um, do people make like their main events epics, spectacles? Do you just leave it regular? Do you make it storytelling? What do you guys do to get like your best rating? This product I think is just like old-fashioned seven classic Southern wrestling style. Um, we'll look at it actually in a second, and then we'll just go to pay-per-view. But if you don't want to see the product and have input about that, let me know what you're excited for on the pay-per-view, and that should be it for the pay-per-view. Now, for those who are sticking around, we're just waiting for the product to load, and we will see. Just so you can see it, I don't remember off the top of my head. Um, I do have what's it called challenges and set to change the product, but none specific. I don't want to change it to like you must change a hardcore company, um, and things like that. Yeah, we traditional old school. I did remove the high risk moves are not allowed and matches should be called in the ring. Things that, we can add that later. Matches called in the ring is a challenge down the line. The high risk moves and spinal impact moves, that hurts the product in a way that I just I don't like, nonetheless. Um, so we have a 40, 60 popularity, 55, 45 in ring action, whatever's better. With most of the roster, it's probably you know what? Probably well within the region. I like doing. I was thinking about changing to wrestling Nerd Nirvana, uh, Furious Fast Deadly. Those are more my bread and butter. Those are easier to book. The game rewards it. But for those of you who do book TCW, or those of you who book, uh, this kind of product, how do you get these massive ratings? What I normally do is I will like epic is to create an epic encounter, put in psychology, drama, ringcraft motion. Advantage of using this approach is it emphasizes the skill of elite and allows them to thrive. Downside is that workers aren't skilled enough. Okay. Need at least 15 minutes. Spectacle. Story driven. Emphasize playing to the audience and using psychology to add drama. High psychology are over and can make these matches memorable and perform better than usual. Poor psychology or have an off night will not. So I'm thinking spectacle for Aaron and Wolf. We will see. Steal the show. That's generally less than 15 minutes. Go all out. Um, we'll see. Car crash. I would just say ECW, Mayhem ECW style. Storytelling. Storytelling is like the generic version of a spectacle or epic, or epic, not epic. Simple and safe story. Yeah, whatever. Comedy. Obvious eye candy. Obvious technical masterclass. I haven't messed with that too much. I think that's something we can go back to down the line. I flirted with the New York City Wrestling Series, but yeah, whatever. High spots. Um, this is something I should probably look into using more. Traditionally in my book, it's regular, steal the show, or storytelling, and wild brawl. Wild brawl. Wild brawl is effectively steal the show for people who can brawl. I feel like. I mean, I don't look at much more. Now, I do know you want to like what's called like calm the crowd before you go into a spectacle. Like you want to bring them down to then hammer them with the spectacle of a match, kind of like that, like popcorn match before the main event. Um, but yeah, every time I get it doesn't seem like the in-ring ratings are great, but the actual match rating isn't. So I'm hoping we succeed in the pay-per-view, and I will talk to you guys then. Thank you for sticking around if you stuck, if you stayed around. Until then, I will talk to you at the next episode. Later.